Obviously to be 1-0 is a great start. An in-state team that won their championship, extremely well coached, hard playing team. I mean, I know there's some other really good teams in the SWAC, but that'll be a hard out that won't be an NCAA tournament team. We're still trying to find, as you saw, I think we played maybe 12 guys. I guess Deshaun and Robert Coward didn't play. Thought Robert Allen played really, really well in the second half. Matt Morrell, got off to a slow start, but what good players do is they just find their rhythm, find their way. We ran some things for Matt. Guys executed. He got Matt open. He made some timely shots. And then I thought we really guarded for a period of time in the second half. Ball security is a big concern of ours. It has been. Without Deshaun, Amari's going to keep getting better, but our assisted turnovers has got to get better. But I thought Alcorn State did a good job of pressuring him.
Coach, I think it was about 10 minutes in when y'all took the first lead. And in those first 10 minutes, in that start, what was there you were kind of seeing, just on both ends of the floor?
I just thought we settled. We didn't get any A-range shots, rim shots. We settled. We shot a lot of jump shots. And even our bigs, we'd go in and, some nice passes. And I'm not saying we shot bad open shot, bad shots from three. I just didn't think the ball moved. And, I think we had 49 no-dribble passes. You'd like to get around 75 to 85 of no-dribble passes, where that ball's really no-dribbled on the first side. But Alcorn State had a lot to do with that. They were physical, and their pressure up the floor was good. But I thought, again, we kept offensive rebounding the ball, and gave us some opportunity.
I think it was, in the 9 minutes that pretty much followed, you held them scoreless, or at least without a field goal. Just what kind of change, what adjustments were made defensively?
Yeah, one thing we do, we have depth. We can keep getting fresh guys in, and I can't remember exactly what was the lineup. I thought TJ came in and gave us a really good spark defensively. Miles Burns is why he's out. He made some timely shots, but he can guard. I thought Matt started guarding better. James White came in and guarded. There's a number of different things. I thought we made a couple little adjustments, switched a couple little ball screens that we talked about going into it. That helped us. The little bitty point guard just wore us out. He had 13 the first half, only had 2 in the second. So we did a much better job on him. But as we got stopped, I think we got 12 stops in a row. That's what it was. But we couldn't stretch the lead. We couldn't run effective offense to boom get the game out. So, but. It was good. We knew it was going to be this kind of game. I watched the game against Texas A&M and the NIT, and it was tied at half, and A&M had to do everything in their power to win, just in a game just like this one. I knew exactly what kind of game we're going to have tonight.
You brought up Robert Allen, 15 points in the second half. Just how his season ended last year, just what did that kind of mean for you guys, just from an emotional perspective?
Oh, it's unbelievable. We've talked about it, and Robert's come back, and God, we had some tearful conversations, both of us, about when his old knee looked awful and he didn't know if he was really kind of scared if he'd ever play again. We talked about just, just get a ball in your hand. Just put a ball in your hand, even if you can just sit in that chair. Just get a ball in your hand, just dribble it, and just kind of get a smile back on your face. And just to see him defy the odds and come back like he's done, with that kind of effort tonight, that tip-in was unbelievable at the end, then the charge. So, yeah, it's great. And you can just see how much he means to the culture of our program.
Javius getting a start and then just playing 7 minutes the rest of the way. Was there something kind of going on there? Or?
Yeah, I thought Jay deserved a start, and I knew he'd be familiar with Alcorn State. I just thought some of the other guys' energy level, just on a particular night, was better. Nothing Jay did wrong. We're going to have a lot of different guys play starter minutes in a lot of different games. Ty Fagan, James White, Malik Ewing, Javius. There'll be a lot of different guys. We just kind of got in a rhythm defensively with Theo. I thought Josh Mabala's effort in the first half was good, so I wanted to see him again second half. And so it's just going to be some different guys, different nights.
Update on Deshaun. I know we talked about week to week, but just how do you feel about maybe Friday?
Yeah, I don't foresee him playing Friday. I really don't. He's just doing a lot of bone stem. Those things are tender. He's just dying to get back out there. It's really just hurting him bad. But like we always will be. We'll keep monitoring, and as soon as he can get back, I know he will. So, but I would list him as doubtful for Friday.
You talked about it a little bit in your opening statement, just thoughts on Amari, kind of being asked to kind of carry a little extra load here, start off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, the freshman's got a, I saw tonight, Severe Wheeler was out, and Cason Wallace played the point, and he's a freshman from Texas. And so, it's just one of those things. He's got to grow into the position. He's going to keep getting better and better. He's a great guy. He wants to do well. He's going to make shots. He's just got fatigue right now hurts him. When he gets fatigued, he can't play through fatigue. And that's been his biggest issue since he's been here. He's going to be a really, really good player. He'll have some great moments, and he'll just grow from this game. Because this is all the games will look like, just like this.
Last week you brought up pace as something that you guys have kind of been emphasizing. How would you kind of evaluate that in the first game?
Yeah, I didn't think we got the ball out of our hands to pitch it ahead enough. There was parts that were good, that the ball got pitched and just trying to play right out of the break and flow right into offense. Not as much as we needed to. I thought some times that we did were really effective, when we had those no-dribble passes. So we're just going to keep working at it, and we got to get our 1-3-1 better, got to get our 2-2-1 press better, and got to trust our zone defense. So there's a lot of things we can grow into.
Hey, you talked about T.J. Caldwell providing that spark defensively, but double figures, in your first game that kind of actually counts. Was it good just to go by him?
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's just a good player. He's got great basketball IQ, as you see. He's very athletic. He's tough. And right now, TJ can kind of get through fatigue and play. I thought he gave us some great minutes. He did a couple of freshman things at the end, came off a corner three, and a couple things that, just first college game. But I was really proud of TJ's effort.
Any further questions?
All right. Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you.